coming up from the Northeast Live studios in Guwahati. Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. It has been nothing short of a thriller. It is now clear, viewers, the Bodo elections are heading towards a nail-biting finish. It has been a seesaw battle throughout the day, and one thing that emerged at this point in time is that the Hagrama Mohilari-led BPF has scripted a massive fight back. Still, despite this, it is clear that the UPPL is going to be the ruling BJP's new ally in the Bodo Council as well as in the 2021 Assam Assembly elections. After today's results and trends of the BTC polls, the UPPL and BJP have already started work in forming, or rather in trying to form, the new Bodo Council. UPPL President Pramod Boro is at this point in time on way to Guwahati, having left Kokrajhar, and he along with other leaders of the UPPL will meet top Assam BJP leaders in Guwahati tonight. Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal, NEDA Convenor Himanta Sharma, Assam BJP President Ranjit will attend the meet, and this meeting is going to seal the BJP-UPPL alliance. The big question is, will the combine succeed in the end to oust the BPF that has ruled the Bodo Council for 17 years in a row since the signing of the BLT Accord in 2003? On the surface, it seems possible because at this point in time, the UPPL BJP combine has leading in 20 seats and of course the BPF in 16 seats. There is one Congress and 3 others. So who are these 3 others? That will determine, and who knows, people from others or for that matter any political party may like to join the winning combination. So that is what happens in council elections. The BJP top brass in Assam, including President Ranjit have confirmed to Northeast Live that the safe run party has no problem in entering into an alliance with the UPPL. Well, the going got tough for the BPF after the BJP decided to snap ties with it. Besides, BJP mascot for the Bodo Council polls, Dr. Himanta Sharma, put up a blazing campaign in the Bodo heartland, tearing apart the BPF and its leader Hagrama Mohilari, accusing the party of indulging in large-scale corruption. The BPF was stunned by the tenor of the BJP's assault and could not come up with a proper response. But still, the BPF managed to put up a tough fight, which indicates that the party's organizational base is still strong after being in power for 17 years. The Congress perhaps committed a harakiri by teaming up with the AIUDF, and of course the Ganasakti party of Kokrajhar MP Nabasarina failed to make much of a mark. In the end, 2 of the new players in BTR, the UPPL and the BJP, has come up with a great performance and have managed to corner their common rival, the BPF. To discuss the evolving situation, I am joined by Assam BJP Vice President Mr. Swapnil Baruah. All Bodo Students Union Assistant General Secretary K. Wari is joining me live from Kokrajhar. Also in Kokrajhar, I have Professor Deepak Basumatary, well-known commentator. And from Guwahati, I am joined by Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, Professor at Guwahati University and a leading political analyst. Let me first bring a situation from the ground. Let me go to our reporter, Senior Desk Editor Joydeep Hazarika, who is standing by in Kokrajhar. Joydeep, Where are you and what is the mood there? What is going on actually, Joydeep? Joydeep, if you can hear me, Joydeep. Okay, so that these are the hazards of telecommunication. Let me go to Mr. Kewari in Kokrajhar. Mr. Kewari, seesaw battle, nail-biting finish. What has happened in the end? The UPPL could not hold on to the lead. They have conceded to the BPF, and without the BJP's support, nothing is going to happen now.
So, Wasbir sir, at the end of the day, this is the mandate of the people and the democracy. And what more we find is that there are the working of BPF that has worked in some constituencies which they have won. And that is how we see that the mandate towards the UPPL has slided down to some numbers that we have unexpected that number. Although this is the mandate, so there will be some way out that UPPL will work on to form the government.
Okay, Professor Deepak Basumatary, what went wrong or what did the BPF do right? What went wrong for the UPPL? They could not actually hold on to the lead.
What I think is the BPF, after having been in power for 17 long years, they have a very strong organizational structure. And what I believe is that in the last, say, couple of weeks in the campaigning, when the BJP entered the fray with full force, I think this Tutu Meme, like personal attack, calling BTC chief, Mekuri, Nemki Gunda. I think these words have touched a raw nerve with the, say, electorate who were, fence-sitters. Maybe they are deciding to vote for, say, either party, BPF or UPPL or some other thing. I think these personal attacks have a lot to do with the way BPF could fight back. I think the fence-sitters had a lot to do here, because I think they could not digest the fact that someone come.
Okay, I'll get a response to it from Mr. Swapnil Baruah, the Assam BJP Vice President, whether name calling actually went in favor of the BPF. But before that, let me go to you, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, despite a two-pronged attack from the BJP on one hand and the UPPL on the other, the BPF put up a massive fight back. What are some of the reasons? How could BPF put up such a show, in fact, sandwiched between two big parties?
I have a couple of reasons. I can tell you a couple of reasons that might have helped, but we are not very sure about it. 17 years of BPF rule in BTC definitely contributed towards the development of the region. If you go even to nook and corner of a BTC, the way the road development has taken place, the connectivity has taken place, they have also, consolidated a kind of identity. The Bodos have also consolidated a kind of identity. And we have seen that there have been a lot of attacks from different quarters, particularly in the parliamentary election when, both in 2014 and 2019, a non-Bodo had won the election. There had been a lot of apprehension among the Bodos. Now, strategically, I think BJP committed a lot of mistakes. One, I think the community might have felt a sense of betrayal. The way the alliance has been snapped, it was not a kind of formal snapping, but then the way it has been attacked, the way, Hagrama Mohilari has been personally attacked, might have given some sense of apprehension to the whole community that a national party coming to the region, coming to the politics of a community and attacking its leadership in a way probably has not been taken very positively.
All right.
We have a kind of perception that this time UPPL will be doing better. They have been equipped with the BTR, and BTR being supported both by the government, ruling party, both in the state and in the center, and also being supported or advocated by UPPL, was definitely in an advantageous position, both for BJP and UPPL. But then the way personal attack has taken place and the way he was responding to it.
Absolutely. Very important point being made. I will definitely come up with a response from BJP Vice President Mr. Swapnil Baruah. Let me go to Kokrajhar, where our reporter Joydeep Hazarika is standing by. Joydeep, it's a neck and neck situation. It's a nail biting finish. So nobody knows what is going to happen in the end.
Yes, Wasbir, definitely this counting has become completely unpredictable. Throughout the day, the UPPL dominated the lead, and from the evening onwards, BPF started making a comeback. And now, as we stand here right now, BPF is leading in 17 seats, UPPL in 11, BJP at 8. Congress is at 1, and the others, who include mostly the independents, they are now leading in 3. So clearly BPF has taken the lead. This is something really upsetting for the UPPL.
Now, Joydeep, who are these three, the others category? Can you give me a breakup? Are they from the Ganashakti party or are they independents?
No, they are independents, because initially there was one lead for the Ganashakti party that was in Kokrajhar.
Okay.
That is also the constituency where Pramod Boro was contesting. But we have got the last update that we had checked. Pramod Boro is now leading in Kokrajhar. Throughout the day, Pramod Boro was actually trailing behind in Kokrajhar and was leading in Guwahati. So it seemed that Boro is pretty much poised to win Guwahati, but may end up losing Kokrajhar. However, that does not seem the case anymore now. Pramod Boro has taken the lead in Kokrajhar as well, and if he continues with this trend for the next few rounds, then we may end up seeing Pramod Boro win in both Kokrajhar as well as Guwahati.
So, Joydeep,
these three.
Joydeep, where are you at present? I can see a lot of people behind you. Who are these people? Where are you?
Wasbir, I'm right now in the premises of the strong room. Actually, the strong room is there behind us. Obviously, we cannot go inside too much near it. But yes, we're now being surrounded. These are all mostly journalists, and then police personnel, and also polling personnel who are running around. It's a lot of hectic activities going on, because as we know, counting is still going on. A lot of constituencies results for counting is still yet to come in. Counting is now going at such a pace that now people are beginning to suspect that it might even be late into the night, or even into the midnight
during the
before
day,
any
as the
strong numbers come.
From afternoon onwards, Joydeep, before I let you go, from afternoon onwards, we saw a lot of celebrations. Initially, there were celebrations only in the UPPL camp, but now there is celebrations in the BPF camp as well. If you can show some visuals of those celebrations, general random celebration. Both the camps are celebrating actually. Joydeep.
Yes, Wasbir. The tables have definitely turned during the course of the day. Today in the daytime, we went to the UPPL office, and we also went to the Bodo House, which is the ABSU office in Kokrajhar. Their celebrations had broken off. People were playing music, dancing. It was like a carnival within the premises of the house, because UPPL had taken such a good lead over the others for most part of the day. Everyone was sure that now the more much talked about Poriborton under Pramod Boro would come in. However, from evening onwards, BPF started gaining its lost ground, and now as we speak, the BPF has now taken a clear lead over its rivals. What is more is that Hagrama Mohilari, who had been trailing behind Buddhadev Musahari in the Debargaon seat, his own constituency, Hagrama Mohilari had been trailing right from the beginning in the morning. in the evening, he has now also bounced back into the lead, and even as we speak, Hagrama Mohilari also continues to take the lead in Dabargaon. However, from Kochugao, from another constituency in which he is also contesting, there, however, as far as we know, he's still trailing behind Ukil Musahari, who is also from the UPPL.
Right.
So yes, both the BPF and Hagrama Mohilari have had a tough day, but now it seems the things have actually turned in their favor.
Absolutely,
Wasbir.
Jaideep. You can go and have a nice cup of tea at this point in time, and if you get any important leader with you, you can come back live anytime you feel like. We want to show the viewers as many voices as possible from ground zero. Joydeep Hazarika, thank you very much for the time being. Mr. Swapnil Baruah,
yes.
You have heard the two panelists. Most of the panelists are saying the two panelists, Professor Deepak Musahari in Kokrajhar and Professor Akhil Ranjan Dutta, they're saying that personal attacks on Hagrama Mohilari, that may have turned the tables, that may have changed the scenario, at least that may have changed the decision of people who are the fence sitters.
Well, I'm not quite inclined to agree with the other panelists in the sense that, both BJP and the UPPL are comparatively new entrants into the field. If that had been the case, that personal attack is a deterring factor to the outcome, also will have its effect on the polling, then you wouldn't have seen BJP there with 9 leads now, and I think UPPL has 10 there, 10 and 9, 19. So add another 3, we have the government in our hands in some sort. So I still feel that the new, personal attack has not definitely made an impact, but at the same time we must not rule out the organizational strength of the BPF in coming back into the fray. But let us say, as you are saying, it's a seesaw battle. What will be the final picture is very difficult to say. But one thing is definite, that the UPPL and the BJP has partnered together. They will seal their agreement tonight, and maybe by tomorrow morning we see a different picture altogether.
Dear viewers, confirmation coming in of the BJP and the UPPL sealing the alliance tonight at this meeting that is going to take place in less than an hour from now as we speak with Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal, NEDA Convenor Dr. Himanta Sharma, Assam BJP President Ranjit, UPPL President Pramod Boro and other top leaders of the UPPL. They are going to meet in Guwahati. Pramod Boro is already about to reach Guwahati and go straight to this meeting. There will be this huddle, which is an in-camera meeting, and there this alliance is going to be sealed. At this point in time, the UPPL BJP combined is leading in 19 seats, and the BPF alone is leading in 17 seats. There is 1 Congress and of course 3 independents. So a situation has come, Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, that these 3 independents and a lone Congress member, they might even hold the key. I am using the word Congress because who knows, in this day and age, people can move from one party to the other at ease.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the Congress. Even given an opportunity, Congress will go with BPF rather than with UPPL, or no question of going with BJP. Now it will depend on the independents. Independents have always independents usually take a very, very opportunistic position. They want to be with a party or with an alliance which will be in power. And given the situation, if the tally goes like this, BJP and UPPL will be in a better position to form the government. And in that situation, I think the independents will also join hands with, BJP and UPPL.
Okay, Mr. Wari, actually, let us keep the things open because the contest is still open.
Wasbir, can I just make a point here?
Yes,
I think
Swapnil Baruah.
we were talking about Parivartan. If you look at the figures 9 and 19 or 20 there, 50% of the Parivartan has already happened. Well, that is at least for sure.
So BJP is taking credit for the fact that 50% of the Paribartan, which was their aim, has already taken place. That's what Swapnil Baruah, Assam BJP Vice President, is saying. Let me go to you, Mr. Wari, the Assistant General Secretary of the All Bodo Students Union in Kokrajhar. Mr. Wari, you know, the contest is still open. Anything can happen. But there is no doubt now that the UPPL is going to be the BJP's new ally, not only in the Bodo Council area, but also in the Assam elections for 2021. That is at least clear.
So this decision by the UPPL and the BJP is a very much politically decided matter. So further, the decision of the people over here, rightly for the change of guard, has been desired. Looking into the pattern of the winning candidates, if you look into the candidates from Udalguri and Baksa, so there was a massive landslide victory for BPF in the earlier elections in those districts. And now if you see, Chirang and Kokrajhar has been replied befittingly by BPF, that is for sure. But there is definitely the factor of change that people have desired. If you see the pattern of votes that have evolved for the support of UPPL in Kokrajhar as well as Chirang.
Professor Deepak Basumatary, you know, the big question now is, according to you, personal attack could be one of the reasons why the BPF may have come back, but basically it is a fractured verdict, isn't it? Because there was no pre-poll understanding between the BJP and the UPPL. Therefore, the figures on the screen, BPF 17, UPPL 10, BJP 9, it clearly indicates that there has been a fractured verdict.
Fractured verdict. What it shows is that people are in two minds which way to go. Earlier, BP had a complete hold over the council. There was no BJP. There was no strong opposition as such, and they had a field day. But this time we have a strong, contender in BJP and UPPL, and still we think. What I think is that people are in different minds. Which particular strong contender out of this BJP, BPF, and UPPL, which one to choose? And so this is reflected in the verdict today. And we should not count out the fact that BPF, having been in power for 17 long years, they know how to win elections now. They have the men, they have the resources now. And, you know, one thing is very clear, that in elections, money or, all these resources play a very important role. And BPI, after having been in power for such a long years, have had this experience how to turn things in its favor at the last moment.
Okay, we will also try to speak to some of the key players on the phone, but let me go to you, Dr. Akhil Dutta. Dr. Akhil Dutta, fractured verdict. Now, the only option is UPPL BJP coming together. That is going to definitely happen tonight itself. So, it's a fractured verdict. What do you have to say? Why do you think, as Professor Deepak Basumatary is saying, that people were confused which formation to go, because there was no formation as such, which party to go with? People were still were unable to take a hard decision, a clear-cut decision.
No, you see, but you cannot say that people are very confused. 17 years of rule, it's not a very easy thing, and anti-incumbency is a must. Now Bodo people have been given the BTR, an upliftment in terms of the council or in terms of the self-governance that they have been getting. Now, despite that, kind of attack that came from BJP, the kind of attack that came from UPPL, the kind of projection that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is taking the interest to a different level of the Bodo community to the BTR, and those were very, very strong, strong rallying points both for UPPL and also for BJP. But that couldn't deter, the BPF to have the tally that we have been witnessing now, or we have seen right at the moment. That signifies something very, very interesting. That now, if you look at why BJP has taken this election so seriously, they have not taken the election so seriously only for the council. They have taken the election so seriously for the ensuing 2021 assembly elections.
All right, Akhil, Ranjan, Dutta, I'll come back.
Just a sentence. The kind of performance that they have shown, UPPL and BJP have shown in the council election, might have disappointed at least BJP for the for right at the moment, for the moment.
Okay, I'll go for a break, but before that, very quickly, Mr. Swapnil Baruah, at the end of the day, the UPPL BJP combined might well succeed in forming the government. That looks a serious possibility. That is, of course, doable. That is possible because you've got three independents who might say. But my question is, are you a happy man today, or you think there are a lot of reasons to be happy because this is your debut election in the Bodo Council?
I think, as I said, we have managed 50% Parivartan in the first attempt itself. The BJP citadel has been rocked, the walls have developed.
BPF citadel.
BPF citadel has been rocked now, and it is just a matter of time when the walls crumble. And look, you just keep on watching that you'll possibly see the exit of BPF soon, or rather they would be limited to Kokrajhar district or maybe Chirang district. But one thing is for definite, that so far as Baska and Udalguri districts are concerned, I think UPPL has entered and BJP has left.
All right, we'll have to wait and watch there. Before I go for a break, let's look at the tally. At this point in time, the BPF is emerging as the largest single party. They are leading in 16 seats. Some of their members have already won the elections. UPPL leading in 10 seats, and of course the BJP also leading in 10 seats now. The BJP UPPL combined has a combined strength of 20, BPF is 16, Congress 1 and others are 3. So that is the tally at this point in time. We'll go for a short break, minute and a half. Don't go away, I'll be right back. Welcome back. I am now joined by Mr. Dilip Saikia, the National General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party and MP from Assam. Mr. Dilip Saikia, welcome to Northeast Tonight. Let's have Mr. Dilip Saikia on the screen. Mr. Dilip Saikia, are you a happy man? The BJP is leading in 10 seats. This is your first election in the Bodo Council area. And I mean, you are doing a good performance. Are you happy, or you would have been expecting much more? All right, let's have the other panelists also on the program. Dilip Saikia, we'll go to Mr. Dilip Saikia in a while. But Professor Deepak Basumatary, considering that it is the first election faced by both the BJP as well as the UPPL, I think they have done an exceedingly good performance, isn't it? Do you agree to that extent?
Yeah, I agree with this assessment because this is first election by both BJP and UPPL. And if you look at the first council election held in 2005, there was no opposition as such. It was BPF. And in the next election after that, in 2011, their seats reduced by 10. Subsequently, again, it reduced by 10. So there have been, what we see has been in subsequent elections.
Professor Basumatary, I'm sorry to cut you off there. I am now joined live by Mr. Dilip Saikia, the National General Secretary of the BJP. Mr. Dilip Saikia, welcome to the show. Are you a happy man, Mr. Dilip Saikia? BJP 10 seats, UPPL 10 seats at this point in time leading. And this is your first election in the Bodo Council, and this is a pretty good performance by the BJP.
Yes, right, Mr. Wasbir Hussain. We have estimated that we are going to win in 15 seats out of 26 seats we have contested. But we are trying our best to win in 13 seats. So already we have won 9 seats, and there is a chance of winning 2 and 3 other more seats. So we are total figure will be 11 to 12 BJP is going to win. So definitely we are happy, but the people of BTC, they are much happy than BJP because they want sense. They voted against BPF. Out of 40 seats, they only BPF got 14 to 15 seats. So if we count that the remaining 25 seats is against the BPF. So people voted against the BPF and they voted for sense. So in last 15 years, you see that the entire BTC, the caste, creed, above caste and creed, they are facing enormous trouble. They have lost their rights, land rights, etc. They have been ignored in various occasions. So the people of BTC, the 35 lakhs voters, BTC voters, they voted against BPF. So it is our duty to give a strong and better government in BTC. So we are working in this line. So we expect that tomorrow, after tomorrow morning, the results will be final, and we'll definitely work together with UPPL, and we are going to form the next government in BTC led by BJP.
Okay, you are saying you'll form the next government led by BJP. You are now poised at 20. Yes, you are very right. Things may change by tomorrow morning. You also have 3 independents. Have you now already started talking? Have you now already started talking to the independents? Have the independents already started approaching the BJP?
No, we have not tried in that line, but we are confident that we both BJP and UPPL will got a simple majority by tomorrow morning or till midnight today.
So, Mr. Dilip Saikia, you have been a veteran political leader. You have so much of on-ground experience. My question to you is, after 17 years, after this anti-incumbency, and after both your party as well as the UPPL attacking Hagrama Mohilari right, left and center, despite that, the BPF has managed to put up a good show. So, what are some of the reasons in your own assessment?
You see that BJP filed only 26 candidates, and especially in Udalguri district, there is 10 seats of BTC, and Baska there is 11 seat in Baska, and then 8 seat in Sirang and 12 seat in Kokrajhar. Altogether we filed 26 candidates. So which seat we have not filed our candidate in that particular area in Kokrajhar and Sirang, the BPF got the edge, BPF got the advantages, and it is natural that the minority voters, they choose BPF rather than to vote in. They are traditional. They are supporter of Congress and AODF. They voted in support of BPF. So it is the significance of this election, BTC election, that the minority voters, especially, they before last election in Lok Sabha elections also in Kokrajhar and Sirang area, they are with Hira Saranya, that is GSP. So they have sidelined GSP this time in BTC election, and they voted in favor of BPF, in particular in Kokrajhar and Sirang also, and other parts also. They choose BPF as their own party. So this is the significance of this BTC election. We are trying that the...
Sorry, carry on. Please complete.
That the indigenous people of the BTC, all the caste and communities above religious section, so we are trying that the BJP and UPPL both will work together, will sit together, and will decide that the next government, that the people wants that the BJP UPPL government in BTC, so we are working in that line.
Right. Now Mr. Saikia, do you regret that you should not have contested only 26 seats? You should have perhaps contested more seats. Is there a regret in you?
Yes, I have much regret. I cannot brief it, cannot in a specific word.
Yeah.
But at that time, that was our that the party was taken a decision that will contest which seat we can own. That was our previous decision. But after declaration of the BTC election, that the time has come that the people of all the constituencies, all the 40 constituencies of the BTC area, the party workers, the 4.5 lakh party workers, they want that why should we left the seat which we have not contested. They regretted. They asked our leadership and especially me that question. So we have decided after that election campaign started that you have to work for the BJP and not to vote BPF. Except BPF, you can vote any other political party, any other independent person, but not BPF. The regret is in my mind and in our party also.
Right. I have got two more questions for you, just only two more questions for you, Mr. Dilip Saikia, but let me give a breaking news at this point in time. Mr. Pramod Boro, UPPL President, has won from Kokrajhar. He has won the Kokrajhar seat. Remember, viewers, Pramod Boro is contesting from two seats. Kokrajhar, he has already won, and he is also awaiting the results as far as Guwahati is concerned. Viewers, breaking story at this point, breaking news at this point in time is that the UPPL President Pramod Boro has won the Kokrajhar seat, defeating his nearest BPF rival. Let me go back to Mr. Dilip Saikia. Mr. Dilip Saikia, now it is true that UPPL is going to be your new ally in the Bodo Council. That means obviously, can we take it now for sure that UPPL is also going to be your ally, obviously, for the 2021 assembly elections?
So we are going to discuss in our party platform that whether 2021 election will have to fight with UPPL or not. This decision will be guided by the central leadership of the party. But at this juncture, at this parivartito rajnitik paridrisya, that we can say that definitely we have to go with UPPL in 2021.
All right, my final question.
But the final decision will be from our central leadership.
Right. My last question to you, Mr. Dilip Saikia, is that Your state president, Mr. Ranjit Das, was speaking to me some time ago. He said that the BJP will be happy to work together with Pramod Boro, who he described as a dynamic leader. Are you really looking forward to working together for the development of the Bodo heartland with the UPPL?
Yes.
Yes, definitely, because the people of BTC want sense and they voted for. So we have that the only alternative that we have to form the government in BTC with UPPL. There is no any option at all. So we are happy enough that the Pramod Boro, he is a very dedicated and sincere new political activities, obviously, but he have a good experience of organization and he have a good faith of the people of the BTC.
Absolutely, Mr. Dilip Saikia, thank you very much for taking out time and speaking to me on Northeast Tonight. Wish you all the best and hope to have you soon once again on the program and on our channel to take us through what finally emerges as far as the Bodo Council elections is concerned. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Dilip Saikia. Let me go to Mr. Deepak Basumatary in Kokrajhar. Mr. Deepak Basumatary, you have heard the top BJP leader, National General Secretary Dilip Saikia saying that, you know, the party will have to decide whether or not to go with UPPL in the 2021 elections. But at the end he said that yes, UPPL is a good option to go for the 2021 election. Is it because had the UPPL come up with a better performance, do you think the BJP leaders would have been able to talk about it much more openly and much more forcefully?
I think they are using this as a bargaining chip from now on, how much seats to share among each other. Definitely, if the UPPL had done better, I think the tone and tenor would have been different. But considering that it is a 50-50 performance on both BJP and UPPL, I think they are leaving the options open.
No, but to be fair, let us be objective. BJP contested only in 26 seats and is leading in 10, whereas the UPPL contested all the 40 seats. There is a difference. Perhaps the BJP is doing their arithmetic on those lines also.
You should also consider the fact that BJP is a national party, and you also know that it is the wealthiest party in the entire world, not only India. But UPPL is just a local party which came into being, I think, only in 2018.
Yes, that point cannot be ignored. Yes.
It is, they have a very, very little resource. You know, I came to know from my friends that, you know, the candidates fought, you know, on the basis of what is called crowdfunding. They had no money on their own to fight elections. So considering the fact that, you know, in spite of all these limitations, UPPL doing quite a good show in its debut performance, debut elections here, I think in spite of the fact that, you know, out of 40 elections contested and won in some, say, 10, 11 or so seats, I think it's quite a good, show.
Absolutely.
It's not that I'm speaking.
Right.
I'm not speaking for say EPPL or so. But and you go and consider say BPF. They have been in power for 17 long years, as I have been saying, and they have a very strong organizational structure right from the top to the bottom. And they have also the resources in terms of money as well as manpower. Just an instruction from the top, it reaches down the bottom.
Absolutely.
And so,
absolutely.
And this has, and it has a well-knit machine that they have.
Right.
So this is one factor
very significant points made by Professor Basumatary there. I'm coming to you, Mr. Wari. Let me go to Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta, on the whole, anything can happen, but it's quite clear that UPPL, BJP and the independents, they are going to form the new council in the Bodo heartland. Of course, as Mr. Dilip Saikia, BJP National General Secretary, has said that picture will be clear by tomorrow morning, and BJP and UPPL on their own will be able to get a simple majority. But whatever it is, Paribartan has definitely come to the Bodo heartland, and don't you think that that is a huge achievement for the BJP, which had absolutely no presence in the Bodo heartland at all?
No, but then I have another understanding. If you look back 2016 assembly elections, BJP had only 5 seats in the assembly. They had won in 66 in 2016 elections, and one of the factors, because they campaigned in such a way, they tried to expose the state government, Tarun Gogoi government, Tarun Gogoi government at that time, the way they have expert, and that had given political dividends to them. But the kind of resources, kind of energy, kind of campaign that BJP carried this time against BPF, particularly against Hagrama Mohilari, I don't think that has given that much of political dividends. Yes, they have registered their victory there. They have won they are leading in 10 seats. That's a good achievement. But compared to many elections, including 2016 assembly elections, I think this is a bit disappointing for BJP.
Right.
And the other point, we are asking, is it a verdict against BPF? Yes, it is a verdict against BPF. But is it a verdict against either UPPL or it is for BJP? That needs to be questioned. If you look at the arithmetic, all fought independently.
All right.
And in that case, I think I think
Akhil is not going to give us the credit for entering for the first time, both UPPL and BJP.
I am giving you the credit.
See, because we have entered 50% in the first go, and please look ahead in the times ahead that things will definitely change. And one point, Wasbir, I'd just like to make is that I think now with the UPPL and the BJP in power, you shall see the shift of the concentration of the BTC to the eastern districts, that is both Baska and Udalguri, which had been comparatively neglected compared to Kokrajhar and
we should be based that BTR, the kind of promises given, will be fulfilled. But the way the Clause 6 committee report and other things have been handled, I have a lot of apprehension, but I wish you the best.
Yeah, we will wait and watch. We'll wait and watch. And let me go to Mr. Wari. Mr. Wari, now, your ABSU has directly supported the UPPL. So you are working in close cooperation, the ABSU as well as the UPPL. Now my question to you, you see, in a situation where both the BJP and the UPPL is stuck, suppose at the end of the result, after every result is out, if the BJP and the UPPL gets 10 seats each, then the BJP will say that we will have the chief executive members post, and the UPPL can say that we will have the chief's post. Then what happens? Do you think somebody has to compromise on that? Because there will be maybe people from the independents will come and join. But if these two parties are stuck at 10 each, what happens? I just want to know from you, what do you think?
We being the student union massively supporting UPPL, if there is a 50-50 decision with the BJP and UPPL, we would sustain that the chief would remain with the UPPL because it's the vision to lead the BTR and to implement the entire accord that relies with the key signatory leaders.
Okay, is that the view going to be Mr. Deepak Basumatary? You have heard, Mr. Wari?
What I think is that BJP, if in the situation where both BJP and UPPL are stuck in 10-10 each, and they are stuck on this question of who will be the chief executive member, I think one thing will play a crucial role here. Who has a mass base here? A leader who can carry all the parties along. And I think BJP do not have that kind of so what we call mass leader as such in Bodo area as of now. So what they are doing is they are poaching from BPF. You have Emmanuel Musahari and Biswajit Demari just jumping ships, but. Apart from that, BJP on its own do not have a mass leader of its own who can carry or understand the problems of Bodoland. And I think in that case, they will have to, they will have to take a wise decision and settle for a person who has a mass base and who understands the problem of Bodoland, okay, in and out.
Okay.
And
all right. All right.
Okay,
I'm running short of time. Breaking news is that we have already announced that Pramod Boro has won the Kokrajhar seat. Of course, he has won that seat by 3,734 votes. That's quite a decisive victory. Pramod Boro has won Kokrajhar by 3,734 votes. But my question to you, Mr. Swapnil Baruah, State Vice President of the BJP, Mr. Swapnil Baruah, will your party be magnanimous enough? Suppose both you and UPPL are stuck at 10 each. In that kind of a scenario, will you be magnanimous enough to let Pramod Boro be the chief? After all, he has been a student leader. After all, he has been a signatory to the latest Bodo Accord in January.
Well, if you ask me personally, I think I would be rather inclined to be with the UPPL. But then this again is a very high level decision. It will be very premature for me to comment on it. But I'm sure that they would try to work out a workable arrangement which is acceptable to all, because there is a serious responsibility of getting the PTR agreement to work. And also there are 12 states taking the people along, and also the 12 seats at stake coming in the elections in another 120 days.
Absolutely. It has been a seesaw situation. It has been a seesaw battle throughout the day today. Situation changing at the drop of a hat. What was in the morning, it changed by noon. Afternoon, things became totally different. And by evening, we are at this situation where BPF is leading in 16 seats. BJP and UPPL are tied at 10 each. Congress 1 and Independents 3. That is the scenario. Pramod Boro and other top UPPL leaders are about to meet top Assam BJP leaders. Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal, NEDA Convenor Dr. Himanta Sharma, the party's mascot as far as the Bodo elections were concerned, and Ranjit Das, the state BJP president, are attending this particular meeting where the alliance between the BJP and the UPPL is going to be sealed. And even if these two parties are stuck at 10, I think they are going to make it, because there are 3 independents in the fray. And as we understand, the BJP is ready to give Pramod Boro head the council and lend full support to him. Our top sources are telling us that the arrangement will be Pramod Boro in that case will be the chief executive member, and there will be a deputy chief executive member who will be from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I think that is the formula which is being worked out. It will be, we are getting from top sources at this point in time are telling Northeast Live that this is the scenario. This is going to be discussed in this meeting in a short while from now. Any minute the meeting is going to begin. Pramod Boro is already in Guwahati. He has arrived from Kokrajhar. He dashed to Kokrajhar following an invitation from the BJP. The moment it became clear that these two parties will have to unite to keep the BPF at bay. So this is the scenario. It has been nothing short of a thriller that we witnessed throughout the day. I thank all my panelists, particularly the panelists from Kokrajhar, Professor Deepak Basumatary and Mr. K. Wari, for staying true with Northeast Life, giving their valuable perspective. And in fact, we have been getting calls at your very, very objective analysis throughout the day today. And Mr. K. Wari is supporting the UPPL, but his analysis has also been as objective as he can. actually. And thanks very much to Mr. Swapnil Baruah for being with us throughout the day. And of course, Mr. Dr. Akhil Ranjan Dutta as well for being with us on 2 occasions on the same day, that is today. And thanks, of course, to the viewers for watching the program. But don't go away. Coming up, latest news from Northeast Live to keep you up to date as far as the Bodo election results are concerned. I end this edition of Northeast Tonight. Good night and goodbye.